One success, so you pierce the obfuscation. 2, throw a red herring into the mix and be nice enough to tell you. There are 3 different locations that are part of this infrastructure. I use that term with the lowercase I and not in the demonic sense.
So
there are 3 buildings that comprise this complex.
And they all connect.
Not physically.
Oh.
You see the plans, and because you have I built it in your head, your I built it beats out the obfuscating effects. So you can see that there are other buildings that are part of the original plan. None of them have a power source, just to throw that out there again. But all of them are linked in some way, shape, or form. From the damage... Well, we'll get there. You don't actually see the damage in your I built it.
No.
No, because you would get the original plans. Mm-hmm. So, are we seeing 2 of them, or is this the laboratory and the holding cells part of one?
You've seen one of them.
So this is one of them. Okay.
Yeah. Daniel starts walking forward.
Follow Daniel.
Yeah, I'll be right behind him.
That's fair. I don't know if... I think he holstered it in the elevator, and now that you guys are out of the elevator, he's pulled his gun again. He has gun in one hand, thumb and asp in the other. The asp is not glowing and vibrating.
I have the sword out still.
Lightning gun.
I'm point because, I'm
since you've successfully turned it on, there's a LED display on the side. The gun has about half charge and 3 settings. The first setting will only take 2, so you have 8 charges. The first setting will use up 2 charges per shot. The other medium and high setting will use up 4 charges per shot. So you can do 2 medium or high blasts, or 4.
Turn it to 11!
The difference is, I think 4 bashing, 6 bashing. No, it's 6 bashing, 8 bashing, 4 lethal.
Nice.
So the bodies that have been laid in the beds, do they look like that they're been placed in repose, or do they look like they've been just tossed onto the beds?
They have been carefully placed in repose. Okay. On top of the chutes, but in their clothing.
Mm-hmm. And I assume any parts that got detached during their deaths have been...
Mm-hmm. There's some mismatch.
A little bit of mismatch?
You guys can tell if you are bothering to examine the bodies. Mm-hmm. Some of the arm lengths don't entirely match up. Sometimes the leg lengths don't entirely match up. Unless you make a medicine roll, the obvious differences pop out at you, and that's enough to know that they put together 4 limbs and a head. Made a body.
So somebody, obviously took the time to do this. Would have, if it had been a human, they would have been able to tell that they were doing it
wrong. You can roll wits plus occult, or wits plus medicine, whichever is higher.
Are they stitched together?
No, they're placed next to each other. They're placed in not stitched or joined in any way, shape, or form. Yes.
Are they glowing blue with certain aura?
No.
Damn it.
Someone has not activated Aura Sight. He activated something else instead.
I'm going to use a willpower.
Of which there are no conscious minds present.
Oh. It's I did mind reading. I have inhuman reflexes, armor plates, mind reading, and teleportation. Oh yeah, I have teleportation.
I mean, to be fair, robots don't necessarily have an aura, so...
Or thoughts.
Well, I was thinking maybe if someone put them together, they might be turning them into Prometheus.
Everything. 2 successes.
2 successes. There are 2 principles at play. Mm-hmm. Your theory that someone human would know that they're doing it wrong is valid. Mm-hmm. However, there's also the possibility that they're doing it wrong on purpose. In forming the bodies back together wrong, they are creating it. The entire setup speaks very heavily of taboo magic. So the arrangement of the bodies, the careful conditioning of the bodies, and then deliberately getting it wrong could be a very large source of mystic power for any number of supernaturals, just because taboo magic.
Not necessarily like a monster was trying to be nice, but didn't know what people really kind of look like.
That's not the sense you're getting.
Okay.
Like a monster trying to be nice.
Like, that was the only other thing that came to mind. Or a person that was legitimately broken and just didn't know anymore.
Not necessarily, if they were broken enough that they didn't care, that's quite possible, especially considering the extent of destruction on the level above. So someone who survived and broke because of everything might actually have done this as well without understanding the mystical principles behind it. Nonetheless, that doesn't stop any number of supernaturals from taking advantage of the mystical principles here.
Are there any mystical or occult signs, symbologies, or other aspects that would tie into what was going on with the bodies to reveal if it was actually done on purpose for mystical reasons?
You reach the end of the hallway. Daniel flicks his flashlight up onto the wall, and onto the wall is painted in a brownish red paint.
Brownish.
So dried blood.
Dried blood.
No, dried blood.
I am the nucleus. I am all life. Giant, all caps. Takes up the entire wall.
Roll for Prometheans.
Oh.
Occult? Or investigation?
There doesn't seem to be an occult meaning behind it.
This is a rant.
What other fixtures are in the cells aside from the beds?
Bed, table, chair, bolted, nightstand. Oh, well, no nightstand, sorry. Like,
no toilet?
No. Actually,
Rude.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, it's still more than a hole in the floor, but...
Okay. Well, if you're putting something in here that doesn't necessarily spend waste that way, you wouldn't need to have that facility. That's what I was getting at.
I wanted to be grass, I'm sorry.
Oops. There are toilets, they're a little more than a hole in the wall.
Okay.
And you guys don't have the overwhelming smell of sewage in your face. So very likely a lot of those toilets were not used.
Okay. Are there ingresses?
So into this.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently I'm got thrown into a survival horror game right in the middle of it. Are there ingresses in the door that allow someone to pass something through without having to open the door?
You'd have to roll me wits plus composure. So many of the doors are deformed or broken that it's a feat to notice whether or not that actually existed in the first place. Any other questions that you guys have as you have traversed the length of the hallway?
She's asking all the questions I want to ask.
Okay. Yes. Towards the bottom of the door, which is where it was going to take most damage in the first place, there was a sliding door that you had to try through.
Okay.
You've managed to put together enough of the various pieces. None of these doors will keep anything out. Like, none of these places are safe for you guys to sleep in. But there's easy ingress in and out of both rooms, all of the rooms.
Are there any...
Well, easy being a relative term.
Are there
No dice rolls, not necessarily easy to your characters.
Any apparent personal effects left in the room? For
No.
example, with the tables and chairs, are there any papers?
No, all of them have been cleaned. Or were cleaned to begin with.
Or they just weren't allowed that stuff in their room.
Well, I'm wondering with the tables and chairs that they might have been asked to write their thoughts. Like, another theory is that they had human subjects that they were trying to turn into monsters, and the human subjects were required to write a physical report.
Dennis suddenly changes the big bad.
No, sorry. You guys continue down the hallway. The hallway opens up both ways, left or right.
Which way leads us towards the... the headquarters isn't in this building.
The main administrative center is not within this building, though.
The headquarters of this section.
No, I'm sorry, it's the same place. The headquarters for this section is not in this building. You're right.
Okay. So this building doesn't have a room or a designed room to be its connection to the headquarters of the entire facility at all.
Not that you can tell.
So I think that
There's nothing in the original design that says to you, oh, this is where the headquarters are. Absolutely.
So is this entire area that we've accessed in the elevator just appears to be cells?
So far, down that main hallway, yes. Rooms on each side, 10 by 10.
Okay.
This hallway turns left and right. On the wall in front of you is written, I am the nucleus, all is life. I am all life.
Is Daniel taking a turn?
Where's the nucleus room?
Alright, so right or left, guys?
I'm trying to figure that out by asking questions about the building. I'm getting
Wits plus investigation.
dick answers.
Ha ha ha. You asked the right question, finally.
Where's the nucleus?
Where's the nucleus?
Wits plus investigation?
Correct.
Is this a crime scene?
No.
Are you sure?
I mean, like...
It looks like a crime scene. Let's flip that back there. I'm pretty sure there are
I'm pretty
plenty
sure-
of agencies that would look at this place and go, crime scene.
I'm pretty sure this is a crime scene.
Alright, that's fine. Go ahead.
Alright, so crime scene dice and the exploding 10. Oh, nice. 6.
You have a funnel.
That's a funnel.
That's as you stop focusing on the purpose for each room and you kind of zoom out a little bit to see the whole. I am the nucleus. The nucleus is the center of the cell. Where is the center of the cell? Well, in order to find out, you have to know what the boundaries of the cell are. So as you pull out, you realize that you're looking at a funnel. Half of the funnel isn't extant, for lack of a better term. The original plans only went so far. But feasibly, if you continue the direction, just a dip.
So I can see a path to get us as close to that as possible through what was in the original plans.
And that would be turn right. Like, to give a workable action, you would turn right.
So that brings us to the question: do we want to go left first?
No, we want to go right first.
See, we're gonna hope and pray that Dennis is not one of those game designers that puts all the fancy stuff off to the corners where you turn away from.
I am not, actually, because I fucking hate that.
Right, so.
I hate the fact that I have to wander through every goddamn zone in Dragon Age Inquisition to figure out what the shit is going on, instead of, I just want to finish, give me my goddamn path. Thanks.
Well, that's not necessarily the answer.
Total rant aside.
But Easter eggs are by definition hidden.
Dennis, did you put any Easter eggs in your...
This entire place is an Easter egg. I'm
So we're
sorry.
in this Easter egg.
I'm like, oh man, that's the wrong question.
Goodies are put off to the side. Prizes.
I don't know, this lightning gun was just laying there in front of us as we walked in the front door.
Well, we found an Easter egg. So you might find another chart. You might find more ammo, right?
Ooh, batteries in the corner.
You only got 8 charges on that thing, and apparently the least amount it takes is 2, because they decided that instead of the single shot taking 1 and then calling 2 charges 1, so that it made sense, they went with 2.
That's a douchebag. I didn't get that either when I was reading it. I'm just regurgitating all it. Why didn't you? You know what I mean? It's fine. That's
And the difference between dashing and lethal is no extra triggers. 2, 4, and 4.
yeah. I guess if you don't want to kill
I think
someone.
you turn the watts up or whatever. Or amps.
Well, I mean, like, if you use the medium gauge and you hit someone with 8 bashing, if you're hitting an undamaged mortal, none of that rolls over, so they just fall unconscious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if you wanted to subdue instead of kill, whereas if you hit them with 4 lethal and they've taken some damage, that mortal is dead. D-E-D, dead.
Well,
Then That's like
All right.
the in-character explanation for the different settings.
Okay.
For what rules are.
Now I need an exploit to make it get really rainy. Like Rain of Fire,
Don't do
Rain
that.
of Water.
I'd already told you about. Don't do that.
I'm not shooting it in the rain. I want to make them really wet and then zap them.
Oh. Anyways, which way do you guys go?
To the right.
Okay.
So effectively, we need to make our way down the funnel, metaphorically speaking. Hold on.
Oh.
He takes out his detective's pad and sketches out the design of the original building and then marks the path as far as it goes and then kind of draws a dotted line from there to where we need to go. Like, I don't know what's here. But
Oh, okay.
we need to go from here to here.
Oh, okay. I see.
Here. That's where we need to go.
So.
That's the nucleus.
Right.
Right.
Hold on. I orient it so it's where she's facing, it's the same way, and we're here. Nikki, do you know how to read a map?
I know how to read a map. I don't know how to read a schematic.
Oh.
Not a bad answer.
Fine. Good point. I'll accept that.
You guys head right. The hallway goes down for 10 yards. Feet. No. 15 feet.
Are they still this super wide hallways?
These are the magically changing.
Magically size-changing hallway. No. It goes down 15 feet, which for those of you doing the math, gives you 2.5 foot thick reinforced concrete walls.
That were not enough.
The walls are fine. The windows and doors, not so much.
Well, I would argue that what's inside escaped. Thus,
The walls were absolutely not enough.
yeah.
And the hallway junctures, left and right. Knox's instructions tell you to go left. To your right is another super long hallway. No, not so long.
Full of
Same
cells.
distance. Full of cells.
Perfect.
There's still no lighting. You guys do hear something down the hallway to your right.
Something mechanical, something biological.
Something mechanical.
It's another robot. I get to kill it.
You want to go punch the robot?
I ripped out its heart last time.
Robots don't have hearts.
Is it an electric noise or is it a...
That one
motor
did.
noise?
It had a heart?
It had a heart.
Skittering.
Skittering?
It was an oil pump, but it was a heart.
So it would be another robot.
Like
I'm
Samurai
not hearing
Jack.
the hum of a generator or the psst of some
Head to toe slick in oil.
oil.
No. And that's a good point. As you're sitting there thinking about power consumption, you didn't hear the hum of electricity upstairs, even when the shortened wires.
Power is weird here.
Yes.
See, this is why we needed a nuclear plant. Could have avoided this.
Well,
Well,
obviously.
this clearly has a nucleus, and that is perhaps the greatest argument against nuclear plants.
Just because the nucleus became sentient and sentient, who cares?
The people, like I can count some complete bodies. Like I
Well,
got
clearly-
hearts, but I don't know how many bodies that all started off being.
Well, clearly they needed to have thicker walls
Better doors.
and better doors.
Hold on. Is the sound's coming from the end of the hallway, right?
Opposite direction of where you need to go. Yeah. Daniel,
It's behind
if
us.
you were watching me the
Yeah,
whole time,
I was.
Daniel literally shed his light in every corner that he could possibly reach and saw nothing.
So wait, the skittering is coming the opposite way. It's coming from behind us.
No. So you have arrived at another junction.
Oh.
To your left is the route that Nock has placed. To your right is a skitter device. It's another T junction.
Okay.
In front of you is a room.
Well, I would like the skittering noise to not be behind us. So my vote is to go to the skittering noise, resolve skittering noise, and then continue left.
Alright, I'll take a look.
I'll go with you.
I think we should all go.
Yeah, I think we should all be going together.
Am I going to be the voice of reason and say don't divide the party?
No.
You'll all catch up eventually.
We don't have any black people in the party, so we can't split up.
So true. we are a horribly Caucasian party.
I planned it that way.
I could turn into a Russian.
That's true.
That's still Caucasian,
Ooh,
though.
I could turn into I could turn into an Asian artist.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe Dimitri is black.
Okay, I'd like
I don't
to
have his
point
race
out
written
right
down.
now that I am wearing
Oh no, I'm sorry. He was German.
and a black shirt.
That would be worse.
Not a red shirt. You, sir, are fucked.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
I teleport to the end of the hallway on the right.
Okay, that's good.
So you are
Roll me with
splitting
plus
the party.
composure as you land. Quote unquote land. I realize it's instantaneous, so this is a reflexive action. Daniel begins cautiously walking down the hallway.
Let's not split the party. Okay, bam.
He's still in vision. Like, Daniel actually does have a flashlight thing on him.
Well, I will.
Well, is Daniel going to shoot
So-
him because all of a sudden he's going to appear at the end of the hallway?
So we get to watch
Surprisingly not.
the hand come out of the door.
Daniel may not have seen him do it, but he's seen him do some weird shit, so he's not going to shoot first.
Well, he's seen me teleport now.
3 successes. So reflexively, as you rematerialize, the sound is now behind you.
I will turn and slash.
Not immediately behind you. The sound is now coming from behind you.
Okay, I will turn and look.
I was like, I mean, feel free, but you know enough.
He dramatically turns with his sword pointed towards it and the flashlight shining that way.
You and Daniel actually accidentally shine each other's eyes first, because he doesn't know what you're doing. Because he doesn't know the impetus for it. So, oh, Jesus. That was bad.
So the skittering noise is between where I was and where I am.
Correct.
So I will now research the sides.
And
Daniel
ceiling.
has stopped because I shine, so he's like,
Ceiling? Check the ceiling.
Yeah.
Don't forget the ceiling.
damn it, Sharon, you ruin everything.
No, I'm doing the thing where you shine the flashlight on the ceiling and then you go across like this.
Yeah.
There's a vent in between you guys.
They travel through the vents.
Classic!
Is it nighttime right now?
It's full dark inside.
Well, it's
Well,
nighttime
yes.
outside.
Nighttime outside?
It
Yes.
is nighttime outside.
Because they
It
mostly
is, in
come
fact,
out at night.
A dark and stormy night.
It is a dark and stormy night. You missed that.
Thank you, Sharon.
I'm going to buy the embed that lets me change the weather. It's a dark and stormy night, sure, but it's also a frog tornado.
Frog tornado.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Frognado, because I put way too many tokens in Frogger.
Daniel sees you finally recovers his vision and sees you having focus above. And is also focusing above. At some point, like 3/4 of the way through the hallway, both of you sense Duke. He's gone. He's just gone.
I move towards the vent.
Is that what he's doing?
Where's that coming from?
Vent.
The grate, or just up in the vent somewhere?
Up in the vent.
Quick, shoot the lightning gun at the vent.
I don't only have so much ammo. I'd rather shoot at
Wait.
something I can see.
Hold on,
Is
hold on.
any of the debris stick-like that I can...
Yeah, there's some reverb.
So I can go ahead and poke the vent, try to knock it loose.
I will do that.
Hold on.
See as how I'm the fucking tank.
I'm looking through the grate. Is the vent of sufficient size that those robots could actually fit in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's Daniel going?
So they're of
He's trying
an inappropriate size.
Our
There's
mortal's
nothing
wandering
there.
away.
I'm like, I mean, there's nothing there as far as the hallway goes. Like, there's just a room.
He's in this empty room.
No, he's approached the window for the empty room. He's
Oh.
not gone inside.
He's looking in.
The glass for this room has been exploded outwards.
Well, she's-
I'll go ask him what he sees while they're doing the event.
Just
Okay.
look at his mind.
What's that?
You have mind reading up too, right?
I do, but
Just watch it.
Okay, so I have a question about my phase.
Mm-hmm.
If I chose to become incorporeal,
Mm-hmm. And rematerialized inside of an object?
no, not necessarily rematerialize, but become incorporeal, move through an object, can I have the ability to use my senses within the object?
Yes.
So I can stick my head in the vent and look.
Yeah.
Without being able to be physically touched. Because
Yes.
I'm not rematerialized with my head halfway through the vent, decapitating myself.
Right. You wouldn't really have more than a glimpse, but yes, you would be able to do that.
Okay. So,
So, step one, you knock the grate open.
Of course.
Nothing falls down.
Mhm.
Nothing leaps out of the air vent. Step two, for those of you who are tactically inclined, from what you're thinking, you're going to need a light up there, not shining upwards and reflecting off. So like a glow stick
Okay.
in the vent would be enough. Since you're only getting a glimpse,
Mhm.
if there's a light up there, especially from a flashlight, there's every chance that you're going to miss seeing whatever is up there. So if you guys can get a glow stick in the actual vent, that'll give you a chance to actually get an accurate glimpse of what's happening.
Okay, so does anyone have anything like that? Alright.
Is that?
Police, beat cops and detectives often have really bright glow sticks instead of flares nowadays to put down to mark
On the road.
on the road before the crime scene tape gets put up.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had not thought of it, there were actually glow sticks in the tech kit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I want to get. Can I toss this accurately up?
Dex
into
plus
the-
athletics.
Alright, I will toss it up there because I actually have Dex and Athletics.
And then someone can give me an upsy daisy.
I am like this, ready to thrust the sword up into the vent the moment something starts coming down.
kill your party member!
I am
Don't kill your party member!
incorporeal until I am out of the vent.
I know.
All she has to do is fall backwards through the ceiling, like, shit, woo! Stab.
No, what I'm imagining is that I'm going to get an upsy daisy so I can phase out my head and then look.
She tosses it up there, it's just fine.
Cool.
You hear that clink, clink, clink.
Alright, so I think it's going after the light. So who wants to give me an upsy daisy?
He's busy. So
I
that's
might
it.
read
That's
it.
me.
Okay. So, up.
Whoop.
Wits plus composure. This is partially general luck and partially stalling tactic. Daniel is sitting in his room. There's nothing.
There's nothing in his mind?
There's nothing in his mind. You hear only the howling wind.
How can he be without a mind? Like, where'd his mind go?
No, his mind's there.
So someone's absconded is with us.
No, it's just empty. As in, like, deep meditation or in a fugue state or completely catatonic. There is nothing to perceive in his mental state because he, at the moment, doesn't have one.
Yeah, he has
That,
no,
that, that
no
sounds rather disturbing.
You have mind reading, so your character understands that it's a infrequent but natural occurrence.
That doesn't sound very natural to me.
Kind of wish I used a willpower.
For successes, you look up. There is, just as your character saw, you did not see an ovoid metallic thing. It's missing two of its legs on one side, which is what the skittering noise is. It's trying to push itself along the wall, but it can't find any purchase to actually move in the vent. It's effectively stuck. Saw the light, and it's now, as you're up there and coming back down, you hear the of it charging its railgun. Chain gun, sorry.
Railgun.
So it's,
Oh shit!
so
I don't
it's
think
going
even I
to
could take
attack
one
the
of those.
light.
It's going to. Well, it has a shot, or it has a line of fire to take a shot at all of you, but it's shooting through the ceiling and the air vent. You guys are probably safe, but you might want to get them out of the line of fire.
Take cover.
As she comes back. You can hear her even when she's incorporeal, so.
But I don't know. How do I pick up incorporeal sound waves?
Because the DM said so.
Because the DM said so. Also,
I'm going to...
No, Knock cannot move out of the line of fire.
oh damn! Wearing a chain gun.
Yes.
Does everyone die for cover? Who doesn't die for cover? Well, Daniel, for one. He's also out of the line of fire.
I'm also reading his blank line.
Okay.
I take cover. I assume I know I can see which way it's pointing. So I'm hanging away. Take cover.
When you are shot at, there are two options. Die for cover, which sacrifices your next action, or drop prone, which is reflexive. In this instance, I would recommend diving for cover, since dropping prone still puts you in the line of fire.
Since dropping prone is reflexive, and my teleport is reflexive,
Can you teleport out of the line of fire?
can I teleport back? Because what I was describing when it went off was I'm teleporting back behind it, so I'm underneath it, so I can stab up into it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I guess I'll die for cover then. I might as well.
Okay. I'm going to tell you straight off the bat. I mean, like, I understand it's you, but even if your sword makes it through all of the cover that this thing has, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Don't dull the blade. Like,
It's an embedded... It's a gadget.
still can get dull.
He starts doing
Still stuff the
bashing
fuck out
damage
of it.
instead.
Well, when you're punching through 2.5 feet of concrete and then the aluminum shell of the air vent and then the armor of the creature, the odds of dulling the blade get significantly higher.
Fair. I will be content with being out of harm's way.
As expected, most of the bullets do not pierce through most of them pierce through the aluminum, obviously. They do not, for the most part, pierce through the concrete, except where they are angled just so that they fall through the air vent and into the concrete underneath. There are shards that come out, but most of you are safe. You all are safe. Daniel hears the pinging and kind of turns towards it, but there's still nothing there, just the sound of wind.
Can I try and jog his memory using like empathy or something to try and like trigger what he might have triggered this fugue state to try and recall his memories? Some clever psychology, some poking about in his brain meats.
Alright, here's a really fucking weird dice pool. Dexterity plus empathy.
That is a weird. Is that because I'm in his brain with wires and stuff?
No, it's because what's going to bring him out is you act, or what's going to push him is physical control.
Okay.
You know from the fact that you have mind reading as a demonic power that
You want to play this game?
at that stage of catatonia, you need some sort of physical stimulus.
Nope. Grabbed his penis. Would that allow me to add my seduction?
Do you have a
Persuasion?
seduction specialty in empathy?
No, but it's in persuasion and
No. There's a merit for that.
One.
Alright.
She keeps poking me.
I'm not your mother. I'm not gonna
We need to
fix
pull
this.
over this apartment.
Turn this apartment around.
I will turn this apartment around.
My mom left me in the snow
kind of
once.
put your hand on his
I might get
shoulder
evicted for that.
and you ask him, "Where are you?" And the response, like, he turns to look at you, and you recognize in his brain that there's some cognizance of what's happening around him. And he just looks at you and says, "I'm home."
This is where you grew up?
No, I grew up with my mother. I know I grew up with my mother.
Oh, machine gun fire.
This is... And there's a slew of memories that accompanies that, like... And as far as you can tell, they're not made up. Simply by sheer volume. By as far as you can tell, I mean simply by sheer volume, those memories are not made up. Like, there's... But this is... I was here. I know I was here.
What were you doing here? Did you live here? Did you work here? Or were you trapped here?
Let's go. I have a score to settle. And he turns, and he heads down the hall.